going on, everybody? Today's video we're going to be looking at the Alien Gear Holster's MOLLE Holster. I'm going to be carrying this on my Exo Mountain Gear K4 5000 pack on this year's elk hunt. I've been testing it out around the house here, testing it out in the yard, getting a feel for it, and so far I'm super impressed. I picked it up for about 63 bucks off of Alien Gear's website. I'll put a link in the description below if you'd like to purchase it. And I will just say that so far this thing is rock solid, doesn't move around on the pack hardly at all. It sticks out a little further than I'd like, but overall a very solid holster. Let's go ahead and dive right in. I'll go ahead and show you how I attach this to my pack. It's super easy, no tools are required. You just open up the bag that it came in and you've got your shell in one piece, and then you've got this double pronged attachment that you're just going to take and you're going to slide down through your PAL's webbing on your pack. Mine's on my hip belt here, and it slides down through. It's a little tricky, especially if you've got a pack that's pretty new. That webbing is very tight on the pack, so you kind of have to wiggle around, and overall that just gives it a better tighter feel to the pack. If that webbing was super loose, then maybe it wouldn't be so tight. So a little bit of a struggle to get it in position at first is not a big deal, but you're going to take that cleat off the bottom, slide through both prongs. You're going to weave it in and out of the webbing, and then you're going to use that cleat to just attach to the bottom. That way that thing can't come out. The next thing that you're going to do is go ahead and grab the Shapeshift shell, and you can see this little piece on the back. It allows for full 360-degree rotation, which is another pro of this holster. You're just going to push this button in on the attachment, and that allows that holster to get seated where you want it. And then once you get it where you want it, you're going to let go of the button. You can kind of give a tug back on the holster, and it's locked in place, ready to go. So full 360 degrees. You can really dial this thing in to just how you want it, and honestly you have the ability to remove this thing or attach it with one hand if you needed. Alright, I wanted to show you the holster on the pack and me walking around with it a little bit to show you that it's not bouncing around. It's not really in the way at all. I had a little bit of trouble at first because of the overall footprint of my Ruger 45 taking up so much space. I think that creates that injection molded shell to be a lot larger than most. Say you had like a 9mm or something, you're not going to have as large of a footprint on your hip belt that I'm going to have in this situation. But my main concern there was that the holster is out of the way of the bowstring whenever I go to draw my bow back, and I found a good position for that, a good rotation, so that is possible. Now it'll probably change if you're not an elk hunter or you're somebody that's going to be carrying this differently. You might find a different perspective to see that from, but for me this is going to work perfect. I wanted to go ahead and get a few steps in to see if this thing was going to wiggle around, if it was going to move on me at all, and I can say that it's solid as can be, and it's not going anywhere. And another thing that if you're concerned about, say somebody coming up and trying to grab the weapon, or the weapon falling out of your pack, or sliding out of the holster I should say, that should not be a concern. This has a thumb release on it, and the thumb release is super smooth. I haven't had any issues with it so far, and just a great overall design product, and I think I'm going to be super happy with it after this trip. I'll go ahead and update you guys with another video, and hopefully I don't have to use it. I'm using it for protection on bears and mountain lions. I don't want to use it at all, but with this thing on my hip I do feel a lot safer and feel like I'm a little bit in more control of the situation. So if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and if you have any tips, holster tips, tricks, leave them in the comments below, and we look forward to hearing you. Thanks for watching.